Rivers Hoopers made it 3 wins from 3 games at the ongoing 2025 Nigerian Premier Basketball League Final 8 playoff when they turned what started off as a close contest into a 20-point rout by defeating Nigerian Custom 94-74 yesterday night. However, it not been the same story for Kano Pillars, Nigerian Custom, and Kwara Falcons. All 3 sides are yet to register a win in the Final 8 contest. So Kingsley, first of the dominance of Rivers Hoopers continued, 3 wins out of 3. It's looking likely that they might defend the title successfully, which they won last season.
Yes, it's looking that way because if you take a look at it, they've been very formidable, right from the first game where they played against, Hopes and Raids. The second, of course, which they, of course, beat Kano Pillars. And now they've gotten the best against Nigerian Custom. So I think for me, you take a look at it, it might just be another one-way thing. Just like we've seen in previous season, Rivers Hoopers coming all the way, of course, to rack up the title, at the end of the day. And Mike, it's really clear at this point in time because if you take a look at it, Rivers Hoopers, are the most, funded team in basketball down here in Nigeria. They are the team, of course, that the players' welfare are not being taken for granted. In fact, they go all out in terms of making sure that they get quality players, that can, of course, get the job done. All right. So you take a look at it, it will be very, very difficult, for Rivers Hoopers to be stopped, in this particular championship. Take a look at the fact that we have the likes of Kevin Amayo playing in the Nigerian Basketball League for Rivers Hoopers and other top quality players. Take a look at other teams. How many top names can you mention? Top basketball player can you mention in other teams? So that's the thing. So if you see the gap is very, very huge in terms of quality of players, performance, proper welfare, and all of that. And that's why we're seeing Rivers Hoopers, of course, being this dominance, in basketball down here in Nigeria. If other teams, can take up the same direction, not just depending on the home-based players. If it depends on the home-based players of Nigerian basketball, you will not really get it right. All right, you have to go out there, see how you can get quality players because the league here is not formidable. All right, so there is no how a league that is not formidable will be able to produce top, players. It's just like the Nigerian Premier Football League. All right, the league is not formidable. And it is difficult for you to pick players here to maybe go represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria and all of that. That's the same thing. That's why you see Rivers Hoopers make extra effort to bring in some of these foreign guys to see how they can get the job done. And not just that, just like we heard from our man, of course, who has been in the scene, Kevin Ayo, they also have an academy that you also go there to bring in talent, as well. So you take a look at it, a well-structured side is going to be very, very difficult for Rivers Hoopers to be stopped, and that is why they maintain this high level of dominance.
High level of dominance from Rivers Hoopers because of the way and manner the team is structured, ready to, of course, continue to add quality players to their rank, and that has given them an edge over other teams who depend on the locally made players where the league is not that very strong per se. So I think for Rivers Hoopers, they know what to do to get a positive result, and they've done it, and the result is coming forth. 3 straight wins. Why teams like Kano Pillars, Kingsley, Nigerian Custom, even Kwara Falcons, some of the top side are struggling yet to register a win?
Yes, it's very disappointing, especially the teams from the north. Kano Pillars, you talk about, Kwara Falcons as well, struggling. Last 2 seasons, Kwara Falcons were a very formidable side. In fact, they won the tickets, went down to the Basketball Africa League and couldn't, of course, put up their best. I think they didn't even win a game. It was that bad. All right, so for me, I think the teams from the north have not really gotten it right. You only see teams from the south here, the Rivers Hoopers, coming up with impressive performance from the west, where you have Lagos Legends, and the rest of them coming up with very impressive performance. And like I mentioned, you can't take it away from the fact that the league has not been formidable. Those teams from the north, they majorly depend on the league, to come up so they could compete. The players also depend on the league to compete, as it stands. How many, mini basketball tournaments do the Nigerian Basketball Federation host in a year? Or maybe some state government hosts in a year? Those are things to look out for. So these players are much rusty. They are not even active, at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you call them to come and play Final 8. How would they be able to, perform with teams like, let's say, Lagos Legends or River Supers that have been competing? After the first phase of the competition, River Supers went for a mini tournament.
Sure.
They didn't just relent. So you just went to be training on your own. You didn't compete maybe any other side. How will you be active? And coupled with the fact that even River Supers that even went to play a mini tournament even have to inject new players. Yeah. So that is the difference. The disparity, of course, is very, very huge at this point in time. So it's very sad. I thought maybe teams like Kwara Falcons, maybe Kano Pillars, Nigerian Custom, of course, will be able to show much progress in this particular one. But it's so unfortunate that we're not seeing that spectacular performance at this point in time.
Some big name teams are finding it very difficult to show grit and tenacity at the ongoing Final 8 of the Nigerian Premier Basketball League. Teams like Kwara Falcons, Kano Pillars finding it very difficult yet to reach the win thus far. But then let me serve you the full result of yesterday's game, because Kwara Falcons were beaten by Hoops and Reed 74-54. Lagos Legend also got a better of Boko City Chiefs 81-74, while Nile University in a KG counter beat Kano Pillars 76-67. Rivers Hoopers down the Nigerian Custom by 94-74 in that particular one. And of course, the coach of the side, talking about Ogo Daudu, Kingsley is also talking tough. He said that their main aim was to focus and get the job done. And of course, the coach is indeed getting focused and getting the job done. What do you make of Ogo Daudu? Do you think that is a wealth of experience which he has garnered by playing the league over the years, and of course also representing Nigeria at the continent of Africa? Do you think that this has in any way helped to, of course, shape the quality and the performance of the team? Or you think that it's just the newly added player that have been able to make the changes?
You can't take it away from Ogo Daudu, honestly. You cannot take it away from Ogo. You can have the best hands, all right, but do not have what it takes to use them, all right? You do not have the knowledge, of course, to use these players. We're seeing coaches, being able, of course, to get the best players, on earth, but still find it difficult, to bring out the best, from the players. Just, for example, in the case of Liverpool, where they have arrays of stars, and still find it difficult, of course, to bring in something, of course, into the team. So that's it. You can't take it away from Ogo Daudu. You can't take away his tactical input in the team. You can say they have a lot of quality players, but the coach, of course, who truly understands the team, of course, know what to do at the right time. And that's why you've seen them, being able to put up, this level of performance. Ogo Daudu is one man who understands Nigerian basketball very well. He knows the strengths of even some of the teams, to say. So he knows what to do at every point. This is a man who has coached River Supers for so many years, so you understand the team very well. He has also coached the D Tigers of Nigeria. I think after the basketball, was it last season, after the Basketball African League, he was actually being called, I think, by a particular team, of course.
NBA.
NBA. So you could see a man who has gone to that height and really understand what it means to manage a team, when it has to do with basketball. So you can't take away his tactical prowess, so far from the exploits and the performance, of River Supers. And I tell you, Ogo Daudu has really done well. And for me, I think he should be commended, for this impressive effort so far.
Ogo Daudu should to be commended for his impressive efforts so far, for tinkering the River Supers side to continue their impeccable record and dominance in the ongoing Super 8 in the Nigerian Premier Basketball League.